hot topic.
And welcome to the year-end Opinion Fest. This is part 2 of our program, and we have brought together our panels from the Opinionators and from the O Show, and we're going to look ahead. Last time we looked at 2012. We are now going to look ahead at 2013, and of course we have our Opinionators. Let's meet them. Alex Johnstone.
Merry Christmas.
Ron Corsini.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And Tara Cunale.
Merry Christmas times 3.
And of course, on the other side, we have the O Show panel. Laura Babcock.
Hey, Larry. Merry Christmas, and to all a good night.
And Loren Lieberman. How are you?
I'm all right.
Well, listen, folks, we had a very good session last time looking at 2012. This time we're looking ahead at 2013. So we've got 5 topics, and we're going to give each of you a chance to talk about each of them. And we're going to start the very first one with you, Tara. And we're going to take it to the federal and provincial levels here because the Liberal Party has a leadership race going on both at the provincial level and the federal level. Can you make some predictions as to where we will be in 2013?
Oh gosh, well, you know, all these races, it's going to be Christmas extended for the Opinionators. We're going to be talking about this for months on end. Really, I think that provincially, Sandra Pupatello has an extremely good chance of securing the leadership. I know that Gerard Kennedy is high on the polls, but I think that the Liberals are going to understand that to beat Andrea, they have to fight her with a woman. So I think she's going to get it provincially. Federally, I just don't even know what to say because Justin Trudeau seems to be so far ahead of the pack and no one can really get a word in edgewise. And he's just this strange icon for the Liberal Party, and I think that he's going to crash and burn once he gets elected.
All right. Well, Laura, you're very astute at what's happening politically in leadership races. What's your assessment of the Liberals both at the provincial and federal levels?
Well, at the federal level, I think that Justin Trudeau benefits from people like Tara underestimating him. I mean, you know, you always hear people say, well, he lacks the intelligence of his father. Well, who has the intelligence of his father federally at the moment, right? And whenever the Liberals have tried to run an intelligence candidate, Ignatieff, Dion, it's blown up in their face because they can't connect. You have someone like Trudeau who can connect, who older people will vote for because of his father's legacy, younger people will vote for because he's the only one who's relevant to the younger generation, and he will get that vote out. And I think he's shown some skill. I think he, you know, right after he announced the nomination, and he had the national media follow him around for a week, which was genius, he went right into the heart of darkness where he was most hated, which was Calgary, based on his father's energy policies, as you recall. And he brought the national media there the next day. So this is a guy who is not afraid of a fight. We saw that with the Thrilla on the Hill boxing match, which I also loved. But it showed a guy that's saying, I'm not just a pretty face. I'm a fighter, and I understand the issues of Canadians, and I think it's a pretty smart strategy. And you can see already the federal Conservatives are attacking him on all of his strong points already, and he's not even got the nomination. So I think he will become he'll become the Prime Minister. Let's let the Conservatives cannibalize themselves with scandals for a bit. He'll get some gravitas as the Liberal leader, and then he will become the Prime Minister.
Wishful
and
thinking.
I don't think he will. I do not. No, it's not, and I do not think he will crash and fall. Now, in terms of the provincial leadership race.
Tips?
What's that? Justin Trudeau? I do talk to him on Twitter about his communications, though. And in terms of the provincial race, I used to interview Pupatello when I was at CBC Windsor. I think she's a force of nature. I think she'll be hard to beat. And she's stepped away from McGuinty's cabinet before the implosion. So she can walk in kind of free of the austerity measures, kind of free of things. She's already, you know, made some statements. I think that any provincial leader, though, running is going to have to answer the question, is poverty a priority for them in the province? Because I think they're going to see that being one of the defining issues. That's my prediction for January.
All right, and we're going to go to this side because the question was asked, who has the intelligence of Pierre Trudeau? And some would say that there are people in this very room who have that. Ron, I'm looking at you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And the hair, come on.
And the hair? Yeah, the hair, lacking of hair. No, I just see that the Liberal leadership race, both federally and provincially, is just heating up. It's going to be a very exciting time for the party. It's going to bring renewal and a lot more interest from people who wouldn't really necessarily look at the Liberal Party to place their vote. So I think that with this new blood coming in, Sandra Pupatello, Gerard Kennedy, these are people that are coming in that don't have the baggage. And actually, we talked last week about prorogation. It was a good thing that the government was prorogued because now we could have this leadership in a much more clear fashion.
Unencumbered by governance.
Unencumbered, absolutely.
Ron, what are you
The
talking
government
about?
is doing something. I mean, they reached.
We don't
You know what?
stop government for a stupid
No,
leadership.
Okay, hold it,
It's a
Ron.
good time to do that.
But don't sit on the fence. Who is going to win the provincial leadership?
Provincial, I would have to say I'm leaning towards Sandra Pupatello, and obviously Trudeau for the federal party. So this is very exciting for me as a Liberal coming into this leadership campaign.
All right. Alice, what do you say?
I see neither. I think that I think federally there's not as much steam as there is provincially because people think that Trudeau is just a given. I think that he will continue to make so many flip-flops. You know, we've seen the long gun, we've seen with energy. I think he'll continue to make those mistakes, speaking, you know, out of both sides of his mouth, and that will really bring him down. I think that provincially, though, I don't see Sandra. Not only is Kenny, you know, certainly farther ahead in the polls, but I think that Kathleen Wynne's going to be the kingmaker here. And I disagree with Tara. I don't think it's going to be an issue about gender. I think it's about left versus right-leaning politics. And I think that if you're listening to Ontarians, I think Ontarians really do, they, I guess, side with more left-leaning politics right now. Certainly, Jason came out with a hard stance that had he been Premier, Bill 115 would never have come through. And I think he gained a lot of traction with that. And I personally don't see Kathleen supporting Sandra. You know, maybe there will be some backroom deals or, you know, deals on the floor, but I see her support going towards Kenny. And I think that's she'll be the kingmaker.
I have to interject for 1 second because you're saying that this is not about gender, and I truly think that Andrea has always made it about gender. Look at her whole total campaign from the last election, where, you know, she's the one in orange heels. She's the one bringing the fresh look, the fresh female touch. So I think that definitely she's going to have more to deal with if she has a female to contend with.
But Sandra's at the other end of the spectrum, and I think that Kenny is. I think that Kenny
They're
would
both
offer.
Loud. They're
I think
both
that
loud.
He would be
and Tim can come up the middle.
Stronger. I guess. I think that he would eat up a lot more of NDP votes than Sandra.
And that would be Kennedy, right? Not
Sorry.
Kenny. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Loren.
Federally, there doesn't seem to be much of a race at all, but from the Trudeau expectation, I think he's going too early. The next federal election, he'll get smoked. The Liberal Party has no money and has no candidates. How many elections as the federal Liberal leader does he have in him? Can he be formidable by the second? Maybe. But are they going to give him a third? I think he's coming in too soon. I also think there is no race, and what else are you going to do?
I disagree. I think that he knows what his timing is. He's been thinking about this his whole life. He's the only person sitting in Parliament in Ottawa who will become Prime Minister because he's not. He's saying this is a point where people are getting tired of Harper. There's no real alternative.
Well, they're not getting tired.
I think that Harper's
Flora.
administration is going to cannibalize like every administration does after too many terms, and Trudeau's going to get some time as leader to figure it out. Yep. And
Laura,
when the moment comes, Trudeau is going to strike. And Harper knows this. If you read Chantal Hébert, who I think is one of the smartest pundits in the country, she said you can tell that the Conservatives, not Loren the pundit Conservative, but the Conservative Party, are frightened of Trudeau because they're already attacking his strongholds in Montreal.
We attacked Mulcair as well. Laura, it's more about a public information announcement.
Hold it.
We attacked Mulcair as well. Oh, I deny it completely.
Hang on a sec.
This was actually my time.
It is. I was just going to say that. And you have to talk about the provincial. Loren, you have to talk provincial as well.
No, but I haven't answered the other half of the question.
Go ahead.
If you ladies would like to answer it for me, I'd be accustomed to that. But once in a while, we can give it a try.
Oh, you're playing the martyr card?
From the provincial perspective.
Can't you just answer the question?
What's the question? Yours?
No,
or can I answer Larry's?
Just answer the question. Why do you have to be a martyr?
There's no martyrs.
Go for it.
Thank you. From the provincial perspective, I don't think Gerard Kennedy is a player in this at all. I don't understand polling in a leadership as who are you polling? Pupatello and Wynne is where it's going to be. It's rather interesting who's backing who, and I'm more than curious to know, Larry, what the Hamilton Liberal ridings, Ron, Larry, are doing. Who are you guys going to end up in?
Pupatello. I think most
except
people,
not Ted, though.
Well, no,
No,
but
not
most
Ted.
most of
Ted's
the
back away.
delegates. Don't forget, it's a delegated convention.
No, of course, which is why polling makes no sense.
Exactly. The Kennedy poll was a provincial poll. He'd do well. Now, will delegates be swayed by that? Perhaps. But you know who the kingmaker is going to be? And I'm not the pundit here.
Charles
you guys
Sousa.
are. No, Harinder Takar. That's another story.
You might be right there.
Let's. Now I've lost track. Alex, have you had to go?
tend to do
You
that.
gotta go with
We've
this.
all done it. Yeah.
All right, everybody's gone.
Everybody's
okay, well,
gone.
let's move to the next one then. And the next one actually is the provincial election. And this is for you, Alex. I knew I had to come to you. The provincial election, will there be one, and what's going to happen?
I think that there will be one. Well, it depends on who becomes leader of the Liberal Party, but I think that there will be an election in the spring, and if there is an election, I think that it's very possible that you'll get either a Liberal minority, depending on who is leader, or a Conservative minority. I don't see anyone getting majority. Hudak really hasn't proven himself. He's just been let down after let down. Ontarians really don't believe in him, and I think it'd be the same thing as the last provincial election. It'd just be a repeat, if not worse.
Horvath, not the next
And
premier. What are you saying?
I think that
She understands.
I think
Hang on,
I'm
Alex.
horrified.
I think the NDP does have a chance, but I think that but I'm being honest here. I think that depending on who becomes leader under the Liberals, you could see a Liberal minority government.
All right. And Ron, what do you say?
Absolutely, and I don't think that the Tories or Andrew Horwath want an election right away. I think if there is going to be a provincial election, it'll probably be maybe in the fall. You're telling me that Horwath is going to be working with the government, and she kind of stated that today in the
She did.
last week in the news that she
And
wanted
today as well.
and that she wanted to work with the government. She really wasn't that interested in having an election right away. So whoever wins, and I think that person who wins the leadership is going to extend an olive branch to the teachers, and hopefully he's will
if you get
again.
Sandra, that won't happen.
He's again. Well, she'd do something. I think she would change some of the facets of Bill 115. So there may be a chance there, but I really firmly believe that they want to extend this olive branch. They want peace, and actually, the teachers have until the end of this month to come together with the school boards for
You're
settlement.
You're talking about the opposition, the politicians not wanting an election. Well, the people of Ontario really don't want an election.
No.
And I think that the politicians are actually listening because they don't want to piss off the electorate as any more than they already are now with prorogation, with minority, with all these strikes. So I think that whoever gets the leadership is going to become premier, and both opposition parties are going to carry that forward at least through the fall.
I wish I could agree with you.
Laura, what do you think?
Well, I wish I could agree that politicians are motivated by not angering the public, but I think they're motivated by advantage.
Well, they also don't have any money.
As well, but as we saw with prorogation, right? So depending on who is selected, and I think it will be Pupatello, I think that she's got the wins behind her. And even though Kathleen Wynne had, distinguished herself in the education portfolio, again, Sandra's distance from it all and her strategy, I think, makes her formidable, and just knowing her as well. So she'll win. And then the question will be, when do the other parties have the advantage? I think that Tim Hudak is practically a lame duck. And it's not that people don't still want to vote Conservative in this province. It's that he as a leader has not distinguished himself. You don't hear the Conservatives around this forum here, Larry, championing almighty Tim Hudak. None of them think he's done anything strategic. No, vaguely.
I still get a
you can
Christmas
see her
card.
gritting her jaw. She's grinding her teeth trying to do it. So he's vulnerable. And Horwath has done extremely well beyond her party's reach. So you've got a leader who's overperforming as a leader with Horwath beyond her party's reach. You've got Hudak underperforming below his party's reach. And then you've got, the wild card of the Liberal leader. I think there will be a spring election because as soon as there's a chance, if Pupatello comes in and polling extremely well, they want a majority back. They don't want a majority. They want a majority. And if Horwath thinks that they've selected someone who's a loser, she'll go for it. I mean, they're going to try to push the election based on
Who wins?
advantage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Lauren, what do you say?
I think if we pretty much do agree that if it's Pupatello, under that scenario, there's always the honeymoon period. So a spring election, absolutely not. Whether or not one happens in the fall.
I can't really see it because a lot of Horwath
Horvath has somewhat jumped the shark. She was a lot hotter months ago, and she's not getting the headlines she used to. You bring a strong personality female like Sandra in there, it makes Andrea less nifty. No, but it does.
Suggesting her appeal is because she's a female and that's therefore nifty?
No.
Would you be
Yeah,
more
it
sensitive,
is.
my
It's
friend?
left and right.
No,
It's left and right.
but wait a second.
Can't believe you said that.
You being the female, can't use the advantage of she's fresh and she's new because she's in heels.
But who said
and
that?
then
I certainly have not
I'm
said
looking
that.
over here.
Yeah, well, don't
and
say
I
this
said
other
that
stuff.
too,
I didn't
because
say
and
she was
Andrea said
heels.
that.
I just said that she was.
Listen,
Andrea
Hudak
uses
is boring
She
and does
offered
bad
fresh
sound
ideas.
bites.
But the
And
suggestion
Andrea
that
is
Sandra
different.
will make
That's just
Andrea look
conservative
less
spin
nifty
it
because now
as
you
a
have two women to
gender.
look at is fundamentally sexist, Lauren. There's no way around that.
Yeah.
Oy,
All right,
God.
listen. Let me rescue Lauren.
Good luck.
And let's shift gears here and go to another topic.
Nifty? Because
I think everybody had a chance to speak on that one. And Laura, we're going to start with you on this. This is a local issue. It's a provincial issue, really, but it's been localized because we have an opportunity as a city to give the nod to a casino presence.
Right.
Right? And there's a raging debate out there. Council has to make a decision in February as to whether we say yes or no to the opportunity. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think you've characterized it well. The debate is raging, and I think we've seen in Hamilton that when we rage without a lot of good information, we get bad deals like we did with the Pan Am Stadium. Everyone woke up with regret after that year-and-a-half fight. I've already seen the camps get more and more entrenched. We talked about it on the last O show of the season. I personally am trying to get some experts from out of town in for an information forum that isn't based on Hamilton entrenched interests, so we can all learn more, because we're all, flying out all these stats and all these facts about something that will affect our community strongly. My position on it is, my prediction is that we're going to go ahead to explore the casino option, and I think we should as a city. We should look into our options. But I don't want one downtown because I think that it puts the most vulnerable at greater risk, and I think it defines our core in a way that we don't want to go. We have too much momentum in a different direction. But I don't mind one out in Flamborough or even the West Harbour. Maybe that's the entertainment rejuvenation that we've all been looking for with Pan Am. Maybe it's a casino area down there. I don't know. But what I can tell you is my prediction is the city will explore it. I'm hoping that we will do this major decision better than the Red Hill Valley Expressway and the Pan Am Stadium and all these other ones that have made us national embarrassments. I'm hoping that we get it better this time because we're a new city and we can handle things more intelligently. That's my prediction.
Well, the city certainly seems to polarize itself. In fact, it's probably a bipolar city in many respects. Alex, what do you say about the casino? What do you think is going to happen?
Terrible decision.
No, what is going to happen?
Well, I think that City Council will vote for it. I think that it's an absolutely terrible decision. I think it will be a disaster for downtown, and certainly not only will it be a sore in terms of just the physical look of it downtown, but also all the money that's going to be sucked out of the local economy into this casino. Studies have shown time after time after time that when you put a casino in your town, it just sucks up people's money that they would normally be paying for food, for rent, and why would we encourage that? I think the other issue too is that really, between Niagara Falls, Hamilton, and Toronto, who's going to travel to Hamilton? There's not going to be all kinds of tourism coming here. It's going to be, sucking money out of the local economy. And that's money that could be going to our small businesses, and I think it's a disaster.
Okay, Ron, what do you think?
Well, I don't see it as sucking out money out of our local economy. I think people going there for an entertainment value. It's, and the whole idea, and it just drives me crazy that we're becoming this nanny state, that we can't have something because we have poor people in our community, and we will always have that.
Listen
But
to
you know
yourself.
what? We just can't start saying I want to do this, but no. We
not just poor
we
people,
can't
it's
do
mental
that
illness
because
as
we
well.
have people that just can't afford to, and it's only poor people that are going to go to the casino. That's not true. We have casinos all around us. We have them in Flamborough, and you can get a free bus ride out there. You get a free bus ride to Niagara Falls if you want. So these buses are not filled with street people and homeless people going to the casino.
It's not street people and homeless people.
It just drives me
It's-
crazy.
Okay, well, listen, we're
Yeah.
going to run out of time.
Okay.
Tara, go ahead.
I do like the money that I do like the taxes that a casino brings to our city. We do need the money. We've been getting it from Flamborough Downs over the past few years. I want to continue getting that money, but I don't think that a casino has to be downtown. I don't think that it really incorporates into what we want our downtown to look like, but I'll still take your money. Plus, you know, Larry, I don't think it's fair. I think the casino would take away too much business from the bingo hall.
Yes, well, and the off-track betting. Loren, last word to you on casino.
I really need to quote fictional President Rainier Wolfcastle when he put out there that he was elected to lead, not to read. And as much as that could be spun around the other way, there is so much reading on this. Everybody is citing studies. There are studies on the other side. There is no study of what there is for Hamilton. So a couple last points on that would be, as mostly the vast majority of my life as a Durand resident, I am insulted that because of my postal code, I can't handle something like a casino. But if I live somewhere else, then I can. I think the entire argument is so backwards, and that downtowners should be enraged that they're not capable, and that what they're worthy of is a whole lot more protection than anywhere else needs. But I think the ultimate joke is going to be on us if we say no, because to the west of us will be the Brantford Casino that will take our money and give us the social problems without any rebate.
So there are social problems?
Of course there are. Of course there are, Laura. Who doesn't? Come on. Come on. People make bad decisions all the time. We have the social problems now, and we have a small casino. So let's say no to all of it, leave all our money in Brantford, and then, which is convenient for those who live in the west end of the city, let's put one in Grimsby, so that Stony Creekers like yourself have a good place to go, and we can have all those social ills and none of the money. I hope that's the eventuality. That's what this city deserves.
Well, maybe federal,
well, all right.
maybe governments need to quit downloading.
We have two more topics.
Services.
Alex, we have two more topics, and we're going to try to at least have a word about each of them. I have an opinion about casinos, but unless I get paid, I'm not saying it at all.
Good, you've changed
so I have changed my tune on that. Listen, this is going to start with you, Ron, and we only have a couple minutes left. Teachers, is 2013 going to be a year of peace or war in the educational field?
It depends on who gets elected as Liberal leader, and I hope that all of the candidates are saying now that they will offer an olive branch to the teachers. They will change. They may change some things. I don't think that they will change the wage freeze. And the teachers are not saying that is the issue. The issue is bargaining rights.
All right. Peace or war?
I'm hoping peace. Boards across the province, you know, we're ready to sign our agreements. We are ready to get, you know, down to work, back to work, and I think that you know, if you get rid of the whole the section of 115 that goes against your bargaining rights, then you're good as gold.
All right. Peace or war? Education.
My New Year's wish is that teaching be deemed an essential service, and therefore peace, because there'll be no strikes.
All right. Peace or war?
Well, at this point, war, if you look at the union-breaking tactics that are just passed in Michigan just this week, the teachers are going to hold out to restore those bargaining rights. They'll take the 2-year wage freeze, but unless that part of Bill 115 is repealed by the new Liberal leader, it's going to be war. They're not going to back down. It's too important.
If it was good enough for the Catholics, it should be good enough for the publics, but I hope the teachers have a really cold winter in which to pick it in.
All right, and the very last, listen, and the very last topic has to do with the Canadian economy and the economy in Hamilton, and we just have an opportunity to say something very, very quickly. Is 2013 going to be a boom year or a bust year economically for the city?
Well, Larry, I actually want to go back to a few comments earlier about NDP, MPs and MPPs not doing anything for Hamilton. And,
what are they going to do for the economy, Alex?
And I do want to chat about that. I think that we've brought in all kinds of opportunities, all kinds of policy, and you know, we might not be bringing in gazebos and fake lakes, but we are helping Canadians and Ontarians to get jobs.
All right, okay.
You know what? It's
boom or bust.
It's going to be boom. Look at the cranes downtown. We're building. Mac is downtown.
Okay,
it's
good.
going to be
boom or bust.
It's going to be great.
Boom and boom, both provincially and federally. We're coming back and coming back strong.
Excellent, Loren. Boom or bust.
As a Jekyll and Hyde city, more poverty talk, more success stories too.
And Laura, last word to you.
Boom. And it's Canada's century. It's going to be Hamilton's decade as one of the top cities to watch. And we're going to help with poverty at the same time. We have to.
Wonderful. And there you have it from our O-Show panelists and our opinionators. That's what 2013 is going to look like. We're going to have some interesting times, both politically, economically, and in terms of the characters that make the city of Hamilton very interesting to live in. We want to wish you a very happy holiday. We'll see you in 2013.
Cheers.